Get up right now. This very moment you have work to do, dreams to chase, a life to build, and it won't happen by wishing, hoping, or waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. The perfect place is here. The perfect person is you. You're capable of so much more than you realize. Inside you lies a wellspring of potential waiting to be tapped. But potential alone isn't enough. It needs action. It demands effort. It requires you to force yourself to get it done. And that phrase for a moment, force yourself to get it done. It's not always comfortable. It's not always easy. But it's always, always worth it. Every great achievement in history, every breakthrough, every masterpiece, came from someone who forced themselves to keep going when it would have been easier to give up. The Wright brothers didn't build the first airplane by quitting when their initial attempts failed. They forced themselves to try again and again and again. You have that same power within you. The power to push past your limits, to break through your barriers, to force yourself to take that next step, even when every fiber of your being wants to stay put. Now, I'm not talking about blind, mindless effort. I'm talking about focused, intentional action, about setting clear goals and then relentlessly pursuing them, about having a vision for your life and refusing to let anything stand in your way. You see, success isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create, and you create it by forcing yourself to take action day after day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the obstacles in your Think about the last time you achieved something significant. Remember how it felt? The pride, the satisfaction, the sense of accomplishment? That feeling didn't come from sitting on the couch dreaming about success. It came from forcing yourself to get it done. But here's the thing, forcing yourself isn't about being harsh or cruel to yourself. It's about being your own best coach, your own biggest supporter. It's about knowing that you're capable of more and refusing to settle for less. It's about understanding that discomfort is the price of growth. That resistance is the signal that you're on the right track, that the voice in your head telling you to give up is the very reason you need to keep going. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds exhausting. Do I really have to force myself all the time? And the answer is no, you don't have to force yourself all the time, but you do have to force yourself when it matters most. When you're tired, when you're discouraged, when you're facing a challenge that seems insurmountable. Those are the moments that define us. Those are the moments when forcing yourself to get it done can change the entire trajectory of your life. Think about it. Every day, you're writing the story of your life. Every action, every decision, every moment you force yourself to keep going is another page in that story. What kind of story do you want to write? Do you want a story of someone who gave up at the first sign of difficulty? Or do you want a story of someone who faced their fears, overcame their doubts, and forced themselves to achieve greatness? The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make not once, but every single day. Every time you face a challenge, every time you feel like giving up, you have the opportunity to force yourself to get it done. And here's the beautiful thing. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Forcing yourself to take action builds momentum. It creates habits. It shapes your character. Let's think of it like a muscle. The first time you try to lift a heavy weight, it's incredibly difficult. But if you keep at it, day after day, that same weight becomes easier to lift. Your strength grows. Your capacity expands. The same is true for your ability to force yourself to get things done. The more you practice it, the stronger you become. The more you push yourself, the further you can go. But it all starts with a decision. A decision to stop waiting for motivation to strike and start taking action regardless of how you feel. A decision to stop making excuses and start making progress. A decision to force yourself to get it done no matter. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what if I fail? What if I force myself to try and still don't succeed? And to that I say, so what? Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's how we learn, how we grow, how we get better. Every failure is an opportunity. An opportunity to learn, to adjust, to come back stronger. The only real failure is giving up. As long as you keep forcing yourself to get back up, to try again, to keep pushing forward, you haven't failed. You're just on the path to success. Remember, success isn't a destination. It's not some far-off point you reach and then stop. Success is a journey. It's a continuous process of growth, of improvement, of forcing yourself to become better today than you were yesterday. And the journey isn't always going to be smooth. There will be obstacles, there will be setbacks, there will be days when forcing yourself to get it done feels impossible. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days that separate the achievers from the dreamers. Because here's the truth. Everyone wants success. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has goals. But not everyone is willing to force themselves to do what it takes to achieve them. Not everyone is willing to push through the discomfort, to face their fears, to keep going when every instinct tells them to stop. But you have that power within you, the power to force yourself to get it done no matter what. And that power is what will propel you to heights you never thought possible. Think about the goals you have for your life, the dreams you hold in your heart. Now imagine achieving them. Imagine the sense of pride, of fulfillment, of knowing that you forced yourself to make them a reality. That future is within your grasp. But it won't come to you. You have to go out and seize it. You have to force yourself to take action, to make progress, to get it done. And yes, it will be hard. Yes, there will be times when you want to give up. But those are the times when forcing yourself matters most. Those are the times when you have the opportunity to prove to yourself just how strong, how capable, how unstoppable you really are. Here's the secret. The person you become in the process of forcing yourself to achieve your goals is even more valuable than the goals themselves. You become stronger, more resilient, more confident. You become someone who doesn't wait for opportunities, but creates them. Someone who doesn't hope for success, but ensures it through sheer force of will. And that transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens day by day, moment by moment, every time you force yourself to take action when it would be easier to give up. So start now. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it will never come. Don't wait until you feel ready because you'll never feel completely ready. Start now right where you are with what you have. Force yourself to take that first step. Force yourself to make that call, to write that page, to start that project. Force yourself to face your fears, to step out of your comfort zone, to do the things you've been putting off. And then when you've taken that first step, force yourself to take another and another and another. Build momentum. Create habits. Shape your future through the power of your actions. Remember, the world doesn't reward people for what they know. It rewards them for what they do. So stop thinking about what you should do, what you could do, what you might do. Start doing. Start forcing yourself to get it done. Because here's the truth. You are capable of so much more than you realize. You have strengths you haven't tapped, talents you haven't explored, potential you haven't unleashed. But none of that matters unless you force yourself to act on it. Think about the people you admire, the ones who've achieved great things. Do you think they always felt motivated? Do you think they never faced doubt, never wanted to give up? Of course they did. But the difference is they forced themselves to keep going anyway. That's the key. That's the secret. That's the power that can change your life. The power to force yourself to get it done, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the obstacles in your way. And yes, it will be hard. Yes, there will be times when you want to quit. But those are the times that define you. Those are the times when forcing yourself to keep going can make all the difference. Because here's the thing, success isn't about never falling down. It's about getting back up every time you do. It's about forcing yourself to take one more step, to try one more time, to push just a little bit harder. And each time you do that, you grow stronger, you build confidence. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. So embrace the challenge. Welcome the discomfort. See resistance as a sign that you're on the right track. Because the truth is, anything worth achieving is going to require effort. It's going to require you to force yourself to get it done. But here's the beautiful part. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more you force yourself to take action, the more natural it feels. It becomes part of who you are, part of your character. You become someone who doesn't wait for things to happen, but makes them happen. Someone who doesn't hope for success, but creates it through sheer determination and willpower. And that's when life really starts to change. That's when you start to see possibilities where others see obstacles. That's when you start to achieve things that others think are impossible. Because the truth is, the only limits that really matter are the ones you place on yourself. And when you force yourself to push past those limits, you discover that they were never really there to begin with. So I challenge you. I challenge you to force yourself to get it done, to push past your comfort zone, to face your fears, to take action even when you don't feel like it. Start small if you need to. Force yourself to get up 5 minutes earlier tomorrow. Force yourself to make that call you've been putting off. Force yourself to take the first step towards that big goal you've been dreaming about. And then when you've done that, force yourself to do a little bit more, to push a little bit harder, to reach a little bit further. Because that's how greatness is achieved, not in one giant leap, but in countless small steps. In the daily decision to force yourself to get it done, no matter what. And yes, there will be setbacks. Yes, there will be failures. But remember, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's how we learn, how we grow, how we get better. So don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of not trying. Be afraid of not pushing yourself. Be afraid of looking back on your life and wondering what if. Because the truth is, the biggest regrets in life are not the things we tried and failed at, but the things we never had the courage to try at all. So force yourself to try. Force yourself to take risks. Force yourself to pursue your dreams with everything you've got. And when it gets hard, because it will get hard, remember why you started. Remember the dreams you're fighting for. Remember the person you're becoming in the process, because that's what this is really about. It's not just about achieving goals, it's about becoming the kind of person who achieves goals, the kind of person who forces themselves to get it done no matter what. And that person, that stronger, more determined, more resilient version of you, is capable of incredible things, things you can't even imagine right now. So embrace the challenge, welcome the discomfort. See every obstacle as an opportunity to prove yourself just how strong you really are. Force yourself to get up when you fall. Force yourself to keep going when you want to quit. Force yourself to believe in your dreams, even when no one else does. Because here's the truth. The world is full of people who gave up on their dreams, who stopped forcing themselves to get it done, who settled for less than they were capable of. Don't be one of them. Don't let your dreams die. Don't let your potential go unfulfilled. Force yourself to become the person you were meant to be. Because you have greatness within you, you have the power to achieve amazing things. But that power is useless unless you force yourself to act on it. So start now, right now. Force yourself to take that first step. And then in the next to build momentum, create habits, shape your future through the power of your actions. Remember, every great achievement in history started with someone forcing themselves to take action, to keep going when it would have been easier to give up, to push through the fear, the doubt, the uncertainty. You have that same power within you, the power to force yourself to get it done no matter what, the power to turn your dreams into reality, the power to create a life you're proud of. But that power is useless unless you use it, unless you force yourself to act on it, unless you make the decision right here, right now, to stop waiting and start doing. So what are you waiting for? The time is now, the place is here. The person is you. Force yourself to get it done. Force yourself to become the person you were meant to be. Force yourself to create the life you've always dreamed of. Because you can, because you must, because you're worth it. So get up, take action. Force yourself to get it done. Your future self will thank you for it. The world is waiting for what you have to offer. Don't keep it waiting any longer. Force yourself to get it done and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Remember, the power is within you, choice is yours. The time is now. Force yourself to get it done, and there's no limit to what you can achieve. Your journey to greatness starts with this decision. Make it count, force yourself to get it done, and let your actions write the story of your success.